Hello everybody, good afternoon, Friday afternoon, St Piran's Day here in Cornwall. So that's the day that everybody gets very carried away down here with our black flags and our black and white cross and yeah, it's all good. So happy St Piran's Day everybody. Where are we? Witter Quilt 8, block number 5. So I've had a bit of a week this week where I've not wanted to actually do anything. I don't know what that was all about. Whether or not it's because the sun came out and then it got all miserable again. Sun's come out again today. It's a bit cold, but it's quite nice. So I'm feeling a little bit more with it today. I don't know. Very strange. Anyway, so block 5, Witter Quilt 8, and I did say we'd look at sort of optical illusion curve type stuff. So I've picked out a nice easy one today because I'm going to do a little bit more difficult next time. This is called Vortex. Okay. And hopefully you can see from that it causes swirls, if that makes sense. I've tried to use really distinct colours so that you can follow that quite well. Okay. I think it would work actually quite nicely with more subtle choice, but you know me, and I've used what I've been using all the way through, so hopefully it will go with the other 4 blocks that are behind me here. So I've done this one at 16 by 16, so that when you're fiddling around in the centre, you've actually got quite large triangles to play with. Okay, so they're all based on 4-inch squares. All right, so half square inch here. Speak English, half a 4-inch square there, and split in 2 there, and a bigger one there, so into 4s. All right. Your colour placement is actually quite important on this one, obviously, if you're going to get that swirl effect. Okay, so what I've written on your pattern, all right, so I've done colours on your pattern today, but I've also written on there, be careful of your colour placement and maybe cut all your pieces out before you start stitching them together. All right, so I had all of these laid out in front of me, so I knew exactly where I was going to go with them. All right, and then what I did is I went along and I joined all the half triangles or the quarter triangles into squares, so then I could just join a square to a square, square for a strip, and then the same on the next, and then join the strips. All right. I always say to everybody, if you think logically when you're trying to put something together, always stitch in a straight line if you can. Yeah, you don't want to be stitching around corners because it gives you problems. So straight line stitching means you make it back to a square and then join and then strips. All right, so yeah, you don't want to stitch around a corner if you can help it. Okay, so that's that one, and as I say, quite large, that one, so that it was easier to actually play with. What else did I put on here? Cut with a piece of hers. Lay the whole block out and check that you like your placement is very, very important. And then my lovely word as ever, accuracy in all things. Yeah, so templates if you're making templates, rotary cutting if that's what you're doing, and then you're joining, make sure you got them spot on because you want to get your points good. Yeah, so but when you get in the center there, all your 8 points come together nicely. Now when you're doing this, if you try and get all of your seams on the back in the same direction, you'll get like a cartwheel effect, and it will lay flat in the center like that one has. I don't know if you can see that. I'm actually going to show that one off for once. It didn't work too badly. And on the back they're all going around. Okay, just makes you lay flatter. Try not to handle your triangles too much. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Your bias cut edge can stretch if you're not looking, and if you're handling it too much and you're pulling and tugging, and before you know it, none of your pieces go together and it's all a little bit unpleasant. So and I've actually sprayed some starch on that one just to make him look pretty when he's done. So I've ironed him carefully. I won't say that, I'll probably pressed him as opposed to iron him with a bit of starch. All right, so that's Vortex. I'm gonna have a little look and see what we can find for the next one to make it a little bit curvy, but only optical curvy. Does that make sense? Yeah, good, lovely. So there we are, and I'll put photos of those over onto Facebook into Patchwork Witterings for you to have a little look and a little play at if you want. Now, I'll put them in the album. At the top on the right, you'll see you've got different files and headings and things at the top. So if you head to the right, there's one that called albums, and it's got all the photos in. So it will have a photo of the pattern and a photo of the block, okay, so that you can have a little go yourself. Now, if you think that's too big, that's fine. Then just cut your squares back, because you're only working on a square size. So it would work nicely with 3 inch. 2 inch will be fiddly as, but that's okay if you want to do little 2 inches. But 3 or 4 inch I think is good. I quite like the idea of that one, because if you were going to do more than one, you could make this black carry on round into the next block, and you could link them all up, and they would all look a little bit good, I reckon. Yeah, now I quite like the idea of that as a big quilt. I have to say, I would pick my colours differently if I was going to do that. I would have more plain in there, yeah, and maybe not quite so in your face. But there we are, you know me in colour. What else do I need to tell you? Sunday specials. Yes, we've been doing those for a few weeks now, and they actually seem to be going down quite well. I never have an awful lot of stock of any of them, so it's first come, first serve on a Sunday. So keep an eye out on my Facebook page. I usually put it on there, what we're going to do. And it's only on an offer for 1 day, okay? So whatever I feel like cutting tomorrow is the stock that we have. And when that's gone, that's it. All right? And I am asking everybody to be nice and play nicely and not buy too many packs of the same one each, because actually, do you know where it stops other people getting a nice bargain too? So I have been limiting numbers recently. So that's all good. Right, so this week, I'm going to tell you ahead of time, just because I can, we're going to have Tilda. So some of the Tildas that I didn't put in the original Sunday special, so I think we're going to look at these here, these nice ones, that and a couple from the other pile. They weren't in the original special offer that I did, so it's because I loved the fabric and I didn't want to sell it. Silly, isn't it? I love all the fabrics because I only ever buy what I like, because if I don't like it, I'm not having it. And also, if I don't sell it, I've got to use it. So therefore, I have to love everything that I buy. So it's a bit daft, isn't it? I put those all aside and thought, I'm not going to give them on a special because I like them too much. But I'm going to be a good girl. But what I'm going to do this time is we're going to have 10-inch squares. All right. So do they call them layer cakes, charm packs, whatever? I don't want to. I call them 10-inch cuts, because at the end of the day, some of these names are actually brands, and I don't want to confuse for anybody. So we're going to have Tilda 10-inch cuts, and there will be sufficient 10-inch squares in a pack for you to put together for a nice little quilt top, okay? And that will be on a good special on Sunday. So tune into Facebook on Sunday. That'll be cool. What else have I got to tell you? Yeah, so talking about you, I did write out. See, it's a long time since I've written notes, but I have had a little write down this time, because it's all these little things that help a small business. And do you know what? Obviously, I am a small business, and I hugely appreciate all your support. If you've not, can you please subscribe to YouTube for me if you're watching this? That would be really kind. That helps things. I am on Instagram. I don't know if everybody knows that or not. And I chuck up odd photos of Weird and Wonderful on there. And apparently you can follow on there. So that's Instagram. And then on Facebook, you like my page, which is also very much appreciated. And then it all sort of helps the world go round. And even if you're not buying or taking part in anything like this, that's fine. But I'd appreciate a few likes and subscribes and follows, because then it gets the word out to other people, and then they might support and help. Yeah, it's all good. We're all helping each other in that way. And as I say, I do appreciate it, and I know that most of you have already done that for me, and I do say thank you. I'm still here, which can't be bad after a year. Isn't that frightening? Coming up for a year I've been wittering at you all. Sorry. That's funny. Yeah, oh dear. Never mind, Ace. We've had 7 quilts done, and we're on our 8th in a year, so that's not bad going, really, is it? And especially since I've cut the Witters down now to sort of 1 or 2 a week. I'm amazed, and I'm so amazed that you're all still following me. Thank you. I've got a few plans coming up in the near future. May, to be fair, beginning of May, and I will shout you all that fairly soon. I'm busy designing and making and kitting and doing and doobie and writing patterns and cuddling Tom the cat and whatever else is going on, in readiness for an event in May, which in truth scares the hell out of me, but we're going to do it anyway. I'm going to have a go. It's going to be fun. Have a guess what I'm going to do. How about that? Have a guess what I'm going to do in May. It's very scary for me, but if it works once and I can actually get my head around it and do it, I might do it again. Who knows? You'll get to hear a couple of weeks before actually it all happens. It's exciting and scary. Right, I'm going to leave you to it because all I've been doing is bombarding you with please, 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 and I'm very aware of that. Birds is twittering here in Cornwall. It's what, 5 o'clock, and I can hear them all out there going for it. Although it's been cold, it's turned into a lovely, lovely day. And they're all busy nesting. We've got that many nest boxes in our garden now. I think they put up another 7 or 8 the other day, the boys. And it's just, yeah, it's all good. I did say it was very kind of them to put up feeding boxes for the cat. I don't think they thought about that, but they are all strategically placed out of the way with a bit of luck. Otherwise, Tom's going to be very busy bringing me presents, and I really don't want that. There we are. So 3 things, folks. Off out, do a bit of tidy. Off out, do a bit of exercise. Off out, contact your friends and whoever's around. Do you know what I found this week? I have to just tell you this quickly because I've only just thought of it. It was my best friend's birthday. Yeah, she lives up in London somewhere. And I've known her since I was 5, and she's my mate. And I've not seen her for a long time, and it's all, yeah. So I sent her a cream tea. You can buy cream teas online. There's this little tea room. There's probably lots doing it, but there's a little tea room in Mevagissey here in Cornwall. And they're making fresh scones with local produced cream, clotted cream and jams and things. And they put it in a cake tin. And then they post it to whoever you want it to. So I sent her a cream tea for her birthday. I think it went down very well. I think it did, with all her family, which was lovely. Sorry, just had to get that one in. It was a very exciting moment. I can't wait until we see each other again. It's going to be, yeah, it's a big party with a bit of luck. Right, so yes, so say hello to people. That's what I was getting at. And then just one thing left to say. Be lovely.